In the market research industry, the rule number one is do not harm. Protecting the personal privacy is a rule, and it has been a rule for a long time.
This is kind of like the challenge, right? Like in many of the cases, the regulatory bodies not necessarily are the ones that have been working in the industry. They are composed by lawyers and not by technocrats, right?
My personal feeling is that we're not protected at all. We have insurance, cyber insurance. We have ISO certifications, and when a data breach happens, none of this helps.
There were reports that say that by the end of last year, about 65% of the world population were going to be in this personal data covered under modern privacy regulations.
Facebook has been used as a tool to collect people who are willing to answer surveys for the past 8 years. But I think this is the way to go, is to get out of the panels, because in the panels, the respondents, the panelists are incentivized with money.
Welcome to the Tech Foresight podcast, where we explore the cutting-edge trends and future outlooks in technology. I am Diana Daniels, working in the areas of telecommunications and labor, financial and digital inclusion. And today we have a special guest, Elena Onbright. She is the CEO of MAP Marketing Research, a firm providing online market research outsourcing services in the areas of online and offline data collection, survey programming, data processing, data charting, and analysis solutions. They were actually the first company to introduce online market research in Bulgaria. Elena is also the vice president of the European Research Federation, EFAMBRO, who represents the interest of the market in the social and opinion research in Europe. Its members are National Trade Association for Research Businesses. Welcome, Elena. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Elena, let's start with the present. With this increase in regulations like the GDPR in Europe and CCPA in California, the landscape of data privacy is becoming more complex. There were reports that say that by the end of last year, about 65% of the world population were going to be in this personal data covered under modern privacy regulations. What are the the most pressing challenges that the research industry is facing today in this data collection environment?
The challenge is to have the European Parliament and the European Commission really discriminate or see the difference between marketing, direct marketing, and actually marketing research, because we're not the same. We never ever provide the personal data of the respondents to the clients.
Wow. Okay.
And unfortunately, due to lack of education or ignorance in general, this differentiation is not seen by authorities in many countries, especially in many countries in Europe, especially in the countries where the local marketing research associations are not strong.
Interesting.
And so this is the challenge. The rest actually is positive. The data privacy of people and the data privacy of it is a very difficult, very complex matter, but in the market research industry, the rule number one is do not harm. And protecting the personal privacy of the people and the respondents is a rule, and it has been a rule for a long time. And the other big challenge is, of course, self-regulation on a country level. Okay. You see, GDPR is pan-European and actually global, because it has a global coverage. But countries were supposed to have more detailed regulations suggested by them, by the research associations locally. And this is what is not happening in Netherlands, sorry. The Netherlands is by far the most advanced in communicating with their own authorities, and they still haven't reached a final draft of the self-regulation document.
So, but do you think that then the trend about the own country, the industry to do self-regulation is still viable, or do we need regulators to come and supersede with their powers?
Unfortunately, regulators are not aware of all the specifics of the industry.
Yeah.
And what they will do is, without knowing the details and the specifics, they will not do a good job.
Mm.
And regulations is usually lawyers who have no idea of big data and data collection.
I guess that this is kind of like the challenge, right? Like in many of the cases, the regulatory bodies not necessarily are the ones that have been working in the industry. They are composed by lawyers and not by technocrats, right? Understanding the technicalities of what an industry wants. But what I believe that is true, though, is that a big challenge probably is that data breaches are a growing concern as well. How does this is impacting today the market research industry?
My personal feeling is that we're not protected at all. We have insurance, cyber insurance. We have ISO certifications, and when a data breach happens, none of this helps.
Right.
There was one and only case, fortunately, just one case of a data breach that happened like 2 years ago, again in the Netherlands, with a provider, a platform, software as a service platform, providing tools for scripting and running online surveys. And the experience of the clients of this platform is that actually their cyber insurance only covered the PR, the crisis management. They said, we have all the ISO information protection certificates. We had cyber insurance, and when that happened,
they didn't.
The cyber insurance was actually giving us advice how to handle the public strategy, how to communicate with media. It did not cover the loss of clients because the platform was attacked, and so we are kind of in a loss. The platform that was attacked did not actually disclose to its customers what exactly information was leaked.
Interesting.
Yeah, there was just information that there's a data breach, and then that's it.
So I guess that the importance of doing a good market research is also relies on the quality of the data, right? So you guys are facing several issues, how to gather quality of the data, but also how to get people to actually respond, because all of these things are happening. People are a little bit more conscious about, like, do I want to share, information? Do I want to share my data? And while many of the consumers, especially more informed consumers, understand the importance of market research, because that helps you guys and the brands and the advertising and many other institutions to do better for us users, it's getting more difficult for users to be compliant or to want to respond to anything. How do you think that you guys can get out of this loop?
My personal opinion is that the current, or the past 25 years that we had been using online panels, you know what an online panel is. It's a double opt-in platform that respondents enroll into, and based on different quota criteria, they get different surveys. The way they get them is an email invite with a survey link. And not everybody responds to the invite, only those who agree. And basically it is the same with if you have a mall intercept, or if you see an advertisement on Facebook or another social platform. So I'm mentioning Facebook because of its 3.5 billion users. The possibility to reach people who are willing to answer is much greater than in a panel.
Okay.
And how can I say? My forecast is that in our industry we will get. Actually, Facebook has been used as a tool to collect people who are willing to answer surveys for the past 8 years. But I think this is the way to go, is to get out of the panels, because in the panels, the panelists are incentivized with money. For every completed survey, they get an incentive. And for instance, when they complete 10 or 20, they get a money incentive or a voucher or something like that. But it distorts, the incentive distorts actually.
Yeah, right? Because I mean, how do you know that they are really saying the truth if they are getting compensated by their answers? So I understand that. So then how is this going to affect on the future? You know, now I guess that you guys are getting more channels to get research.
Exactly. It's not only asking questions. Survey research is asking questions, but marketing research is much more than that. There are observational techniques and videotaping of behavior, be it consumer behavior or another behavior, because we do not just consumer service, but much more different stuff, even medical. And not our respondents or participants in surveys are not only people. Sometimes we actually observe cat eating behavior, because our client is, for instance, a producer of cat food, and they want to know how cats perceive or eat, or whether they like their food or not. It's the people who buy the food, but it is the user is the cat.
Right.
You see, our subjects are not only people. And so observational techniques and the AI that we use to process this data is also a way to go. And by the way, it's a much better way to go.
So this is great because,
most of the decisions, even consumer decisions that we make, are usually subconscious. If you ask me what is my purchase intention for something, I can tell you, but actually I may not ever purchase what I tell you I will.
So if we think about then that integration, of technological tools with the possibility of getting better quality of the data, what is coming? I mean, what is in today that maybe not everybody understands? You just mentioned AI. Can you talk a bit?
Yes, this is the future.
Okay.
More observational techniques and processing of huge amounts of video data, of images. The other aspect of data quality is that in the past years, in order to ensure better data quality, we have been implementing quite a lot of different technological solutions to improve.
So what challenges are those? Because if we think about, to ensure that data quality and then the reliability from those different sources, maybe thinking about how do we include mobile technology or IoT devices into these observation opportunities for you to gather data?
It's not only that with observational techniques, it's difficult to fake behavior, but it's much more easy to fake answers or to not read carefully questions and answer whimsically. So to ensure or to improve the data quality of the collected service, we have a set of algorithms and technological tools on the first level, and then we have people who check the data as well.
So
it's a lot. So we have like 7 levels of technological solutions, and then we add a person to actually look at the data to verify. It's not our competitors are not only bots, it's just people who pretend to be something.
Interesting. So we know, that businesses that understand their customer needs usually get up to, 4 to 8% more in revenue than their competition. So how do you think that your industry and the market research will evolve to understand these needs and preferences better? Let's think about, let's gonna do this foresight, and let's gonna think about the next 5 years. What do you think? How will you evolve to understand these needs better, that it will serve your customers?
Introducing more qualitative approaches into quantitative surveys.
Okay.
Which means that while we, for instance, test a commercial in an online survey, we can observe via the camera the behavior of the pupils, where exactly and how the person reacts without us asking him something. And this is the way. This is already happening. This is not something that will happen in 5 years. It's already happening.
Okay.
And it's not about testing commercials. There are a lot of techniques to test ideas, to test the concept, to track. I'll go again to TV commercials. Once you have pre-testing of commercials before you launch them on TV or online, and then you have a tracking study to see how the perception of the commercial is evolving. And you can compare it with your sales data.
So, but this is happening today. So let's think in 5 years from now, how will this going to evolve?
I think we're going to have less tedious 40-minute surveys and a lot more of like 5 to 10-minute surveys, but with that are much more engaging.
Interesting. The usage, obviously, of automated, AI, body recognition, body language recognition type of thing is going to probably
this is we're going in this direction.
Interesting. So for that, I come from the telecom industry, and I need to ask you this: how do you think that the communications and the capacity, the internet, the mobile, the 5Gs, it's going to impact your industry? What type of usage are you guys going to need that is going to require more communication in the next 5 years?
I think with 5G, we are getting much more easy access to our respondents everywhere. it's very rare now that the survey is completed on a desktop.
Right, but 5 years today. So we think in 5 years from now, what technology you guys are going to enable, require video, data, everything through the same channel. So what do you think they're going to change?
We have to be very be aware not to invade people's privacy.
I guess that this is kind of like,
because it's very easy now with a smart TV that has a camera to actually see what's happening inside a home, how people behave, what they eat, what they talk about. Our phones eavesdrop on us all the time, what we discuss, and then Google shows us advertisements for products that we're discussing without us even searching on Google about that. We can only work with data that people are willingly providing us, we have to have their consent. So we have to be very, very wary of what we collect and how we process it.
What about the ethical concerns? Because I understand that there's a survey by PwC where less than a little bit near to half of the executives are concerned about this data security, adapting this new technology, just like you say, like what's going to happen to the privacy of our customers. But what are these other opportunities that you see that are actually the business are taking? The ethical one is an interesting opportunity because it could actually become a norm. This is where you see regulators stepping in. What do you think about that?
I think we're going to have more strict regulation, but this is again something good. Good for the people. Maybe more difficult for us, but good for the general population. As I said in the beginning, do not harm. Whatever you do not harm.
So then what new methods do you believe, or what new methods or what new technologies do you think that is going to be used in the next, let's say, 10 years from now to get these market opportunities more effectively?
More engaging platforms, more engaging surveys.
Do you see people answering surveys 10 years from now?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'm in the online survey industry since year 2000, when it basically started. And like 5 years ago, I attended a Stanford AI course in August. And my first expectation was that, AI is going to kill my industry. No, it's complementing our industry. It's not going to kill surveys or people asking questions. It will simply improve the way we ask questions.
So, but do you see then, let's not say now in 5 years, but let's think about by 2050. Do you believe that an AI-driven market, that is going to be completely driven by AI, the market research are going to be
not completely? No. I actually expect the market research industry to grow. It has grown immensely in the past 25 years.
Interesting.
Like tenfold.
Wow.
It's a huge growth. I expect that it will be even bigger because I hope and expect that top managers will finally become more educated with the tools.
Listen, as technology is evolving, I guess we also need to evolve our skills. What specific skills do you think that are going to be essential for professionals that are in your industry for the next years?
I would like to answer if you to have social sciences background or statistical background, but the truth is that in my company we have always trained people. We train them from ground zero. So we don't get trained or educated by somebody else.
Interesting. So you usually right now you're getting, people that they are from technological backgrounds or analytical or statisticals, mathematicals, and so on. And then you train them in a specific
the specific tools
that you guys use. So then I presume that currently the skills that you need these new employees to have are more soft.
Yes, exactly.
Adaptability.
Working under pressure.
Working under pressure, adaptability, problem solving,
problem solving, capacity to really make decisions fast and not wait for advice from a peer.
Which is interesting. I recently, had the opportunity to do a TED Talk, and I spoke about this. And I spoke about how it's going to be difficult 5 years from now that younger generations will continue to have this problem-solving ability by their own, because they're outsourcing most of it today to AI or to tools like ChatGPT or another AI generative language models. So if we're going to require in the future, these skills where we need them to continue to have, problem-solving skills, decision-making skills, adaptability, working under pressure, how are these kids are going to make it if they are outsourcing this? What is your opinion about it?
Maybe I come across smart kids. I haven't noticed that. I have seen my own kids use AI tools, but they have not impacted negatively their thinking capacity. Vice versa. It's complementing the problem-solving capacity or speed of work, but not hindering it.
That's
I think we are kind of, because we are old and wise, supposedly, we want our kids to be as wise as us, and because they are not so wise, we think that they are missing, they lack the problem-solving capabilities or skills. The more often we put young people in situations that they have to rely on themselves and see our trust in them, the more we get from them. I think it's maybe it's just a question of trust.
It's about trust. I believe so too. So then, thinking about the younger generation, how do the current startups or the startups or these guys that are just finishing university or business school this or the coming year, what would you believe that they need to have, or what opportunities you see for them in your industry? If somebody is thinking, okay, I want to create something for the market research industry, what would you tell them that they should start looking at in order to meet these future demands from your industry?
I think as a start, they have to know the industry, because I've seen a lot of startups in our industry that actually don't know what we're doing.
Okay. So let's assume that they know already.
They think they know, but actually they don't know. They rely a lot on sales efforts, but do not invest enough attention to the really specifics of the industry. Software tools in our industry develop only when we come across or they get feedback from customers, what the customers need. If they don't pay attention to that, it's a startup, and then the next year it's gone. Right. It cannot grow.
So if you will have this magic wand or will have someone that is very intelligent. What advice would you give him to create for the future?
You know what? Larger capacity, actually, what we need is a very serious approach to larger capacity of storage of data and of possibility of millions of people, for instance, completing the same survey. Because right now we work on cloud and there is load balancing stuff, load balancing servers. But when we, I'll give an example because it's like, theoretically it's difficult. Airline customer satisfaction survey. Imagine 2 million people completing the survey at the same time.
Okay.
What currently is needed, you have to inform the platform so that it is ready beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Not because some years ago, there was an example when 1 million people logged simultaneously and blocked the server.
Interesting.
And you know, when this happens, everybody is very, very angry, but especially the client.
You know what? The thing is that I see your industry with a different perspective because, you know, this year we got elections in most of the countries in the world. And for me, you know, the voting systems at the end are research systems, right? It's market research. Is the way that you cast your vote is at the end a way for governments to understand what you want to be and who they want you to rule. Like industries, they also, you know, research on what type of product or flavor or things do you want, you know. So for me, what you guys are doing, it's in the future also. It could say a lot of how do we express our decisions, you know. So when I'm thinking, when you're saying, okay, we need more data capacity for processing, I'm thinking, imagine, you know, we recently have elections in Mexico. We're going to have the elections now in the United States. The European elections are also probably passed by when we have this podcast in public. So it's, you know, if we are able to cast our vote and almost get a result immediately, right? It's kind of like also what maybe uses an airline or any kind of like product or consumer face company wants to have almost immediately the result.
But this is already possible with online surveys. Actually, the data is available immediately. The end client can see the data as it comes.
Right. So, but the challenge I'm understanding for you is how do we process millions of users at the very same time?
Yes,
and how do
it's actually a hardware problem. No, it's not a software problem. We have the software to process.
What about quantum technology? What about blockchain? What about these other things?
It's not happening in our industry yet, but when it happens on a global level, it will probably come to us.
Very cool. So let's gonna wrap up this conversation with a quick rapid fire round. I'll ask you a couple of questions about the future of your industry, and try to answer to me in one simple word.
Yeah, I'll try. Keep in mind, English is my second language. No, sorry.
It's okay. All right. Elena, GDPR in 10 years.
Even more stringent, and not just European. I mean, this is going to spread
global.
It's not. Yes. Well, I cannot promise about Russia and China. It's a different world.
It's a different planet almost.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Market research. How will market research will be done in 2050?
faster, more engaging, very fast results to decision makers. And I foresee that the decision makers will get the habit of looking at the results.
Super.
We already produce very fancy reports that can give decision makers an idea about the results of the survey without having them read 80 pages of analysis.
That's important.
We have learned not to torment our clients.
That's important. I wish, yes. Listen, I'm studying a master's in economy. I wish my professor will tell me, please, Diana, don't send me 80 pages of a thesis. It's not happening yet. So, but yeah.
Well, see, academics is different. Academics expect that. CEOs on the C-level expects something that 8 pages, 8 slides that give you the exact answer.
Exact answer. I love that. Okay, so yes. The most disruptive technology in the market research in the next 10 years?
Observational tools.
Observational tools. Okay.
Yeah. AI. This is the most. Yeah. Yes.
The most disruptive. Very nice. Who is going to own your consumers' data in 2050?
Consumer. By GDPR, any respondent can actually retract his own data from any survey, even now, if he wants.
So do you think by 2050, consumers will be truly the owners of their data?
The data we work with is anonymized.
Interesting. But that didn't respond like if you are going to be on your own data.
Yes, you can remove yourself.
All right. So then the future of consumer rights, your data consumer rights by 2050.
I'm not that optimist. I expected more better consumer rights by 2024, and I haven't seen that yet. So I'm not optimistic that in 25 years, by 2050, we will have better.
So what? And I'm going to loop on into this one. What did you wish that it will happen by 2024 that it hasn't happened?
I think that with the shopping habits of the planet are now very much online. The data protection of the consumers online is not happening yet.
I see. All right. So then
it's not happening enough.
It's not happening enough. All right.
Yes.
So what do you think then, based on this, what is that biggest challenge for market researchers?
Again, better tools, better software tools to ensure the protection of the respondents of the data.
All right. So my last question to you, Elena, is what is the one thing that every CEO of a marketing or advertising agency should focus on for the next 10 to 25 years?
When you make decisions, use data, not your gut feeling.
I love this. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today, Elena. Your insights have been incredibly valuable. I guess that it gives us another perspective of the market research industry, what is already happening, what is hopefully happen in the next 5, 10, 25 years. We'll see.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I enjoyed a lot the conversation.
Thank you, Elena. And thank you. With that, we're going to wrap up today's episode of the Tech Foresight podcast. I am Diana Daniels, and it has been an absolute pleasure to navigate the waters of the future possibilities with you. Don't let this conversation end here. Subscribe, engage, and help us shape what is the content of our future episodes. Your insights are completely vital for this journey. So until we meet again, keep exploring, keep challenging, and then continue to be foresighted. See you soon.